Budweiser racing across America. Today, live from Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky, it's the 114th running of the Kentucky Oaks. This ESPN Sports presentation is brought to you by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. By the Thoroughbred Racing Associations, assuring the highest racing standards. By Lane's End, sponsor of the Trainer of the Month Award on ESPN's weekly Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest show. By the Breeders' Cup, racing's $10 million championship event. By Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, relive the legend. And by the new Remington Park, opening September 1st in Oklahoma City, building a better racetrack for America's best horsemen. Stay tuned for a racing triple header on Oaks Day at Churchill Downs.
Every day, Jack Taylor and Joe Donovan take the same road home. But today, they went a little out of their way.
Hey, what do you think? Give you a hand?
To you, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers.
This Bud's
for all the guys who go out of their way.
This Bud's for you.
It was a special time when the rain, wind, and sun brought forth the waving Kentucky bluegrass on these hills. A time when a dream was born. A dream of speed, heart, victory. A dream that became a legend, the legend that is Calumet Farm. For over 50 years, Calumet Farm has bred and raced more champions than any other breeder in America. Quite simply, Calumet is that dream fulfilled. To strive, to win. Calumet Farm, the legend continues.
Saturday, June 18th, champion thoroughbreds meet in Cleveland to race in Thistledown's Ohio Derby. Enjoy the tradition, thrills, and glory of Ohio's biggest race. Thistledown, Ohio's win place and show place.
Presenting the Cardiff Stud Farms of California. This world-class thoroughbred facility is the Cardiff Stud Farms of California.
It's a festive atmosphere on a beautiful day in Louisville, Kentucky. Warm, breezy, sunny skies. This is the Derby week, and this track's most famous weekend starts today. It's Oaks Day with the Phillies version of the Derby. It's the Kentucky Oaks. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln as we welcome you to the first of our two special shows from Churchill Downs this weekend. Today, we'll cover all three stakes races for you on Oaks Day. And then tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, we'll start our 90-minute preview of the Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Derby special on ESPN, leading to the 114th Run for the Roses. Let's take a look at our schedule of events today. Dave Johnson, Charles C. Kennedy will be along with us as we'll first start with the Early Times Classic. That race coming up in just about 5 minutes. Then we'll see the Louisville Budweiser Breeders' Cup run earlier today. And, of course, our feature race, the 114th running of the Kentucky Oaks. Let's check the conditions now for our first race, the Early Times Turf Classic, run for the second time over the Matt Winn Turf Course. This is a $150,000 added event with 10 starters. The first better than $186,000. They go a mile and an eighth on the turf. The Early Times Turf Classic, one of the three stakes events on Oaks Day. We're about to bring it to you live. Let's meet the field for the Classic now as we meet our classic lady of racing, trackside, and Chelsea Candy.
Well, Chris, like all of the races we're covering today, the Early Times Classic is a deep and competitive race. And the field had better be respecting their elders, because the horses to beat are a pair of 6-year-old geldings. But let's take a look at the entire field. Number 1 is Yucca. Chris Antley aboard, 112 pounds. He's at 30-1. Number 2 is Creme Fresh, top weighted at 123 pounds. Angel Cordero has the mount. He's at 5-2. He's, of course, the 6-year-old gelding who won the 85 Belmont Stakes. $3.8 million in the bank. He won the Tropical Park Derby already this year over Crypto Clearance. Then came back with a big race in the McKnight Handicap. We're going to take a look at that race. He makes an enormous run. It's a very big effort, despite the fact he finishes third. As they turn for home, there you'll see Blazing Bart, who's the favorite, is laying third. Creme Fresh is still way back, and on the rail is the eventual winner, All Sincerity, who's got the lead now. But Blazing Bart is making what looks like a winning move. Where's Creme Fresh? He still isn't even in the picture yet. In a minute, you see his shadow, and as they approach the finish line, he comes from 8th by 13 lengths to come flying to the finish, to be beaten only a length and a half. And he's giving away 3 to 11 pounds today in this field with Angel Cordero aboard. Number 3 is Storm on the Loose, who carries 120 pounds. Julio Espinoza, he's at 17-1. Number 4 is Political Ambition. He's in from California with his jockey Eddie De La Houssaye. They're at 3-1, 120 pounds for those two. Jose Santos has the mount on Blazing Bart. You just saw his performance in the McKnight. This consistent Florida performer carries 116 pounds. He's at 5-1. Number 6 is Savings with Patrick Johnson. This pair accounted for the Essex Handicap. They're at 15-1. Number 7 is Spellbound, early speed. Kevin Murray up 112 pounds, and he is at 80-1. Number 8 is First Patriot, ridden by Early Fires, 112 pounds, 50-1. Now we're going to take a look at Yankee Affair. He carries Pat Day, 118 pounds. They're 9-5. Here he is in the Elkhorn Stakes last time out at Keeneland. Right now, Storm on the Loose sort of has the lead, but they're on the left of your screen in the blue colors. Here comes Yankee Affair. He's flying through the stretch, winds up winning this race by 2 under Pat Day. And rounding out the field, we have number 10, Super DuPont at 70-1, Craig Perrette. And now to load the field, we'll go up amongst the Twin Spires to Dave Johnson.
Thank you, Charles. See, well, this turf course is having a birthday today. It was 1 year ago that it was inaugurated, the Matt Wynn turf course, with this particular race, the Early Times. This race starts right at the head of the stretch, and they're moving into line right now. Let's watch them as they get ready for the start. Lots of assistant starters, and I guess they're getting ready for tomorrow afternoon when I guess 17 of them will be helping load the big field in. Spellbound, who is just about to move into line, has a lot of early speed. He had to be resaddled over there because the saddle slipped, so a couple of the assistant starters helped jockey Kevin Murray, and they got him all set again. Creme Fresh, of course, the 85 Belmont winner, is ready. And here's the 10-horse Super DuPont with Craig Perrette. He balks a little bit, doesn't want to go in. Will be set for this classic. And they're off. And toward the inside, Yucca taking the early lead. Now there goes Spellbound. Spellbound up from between horses, grabs command by a length. As First Patriot on the outside is second. Super DuPont, middle of the racetrack, is third and gaining. Then comes Yankee Affair in fourth. Along the inside, Savings is racing fifth. We last saw Savings chase Lost Code in the Oaklawn handicap. Now under the wire for the first time. It's Spellbound with Kevin Murray in front, in command by a length and a quarter. First Patriot on the outside is in second position. Super DuPont races third. Savings along the inside saves ground fourth by 3 parts of a length. Then Yankee Affair in fifth by 1. Blazing Bart on the outside is sixth at this point, about 5 lengths off the lead. Then the great colt Yucca along the inside is next. Political Ambition, the 4-year-old who loves the turf, is way back in 8th position. Then comes Storm on the Loose in 9th, and as expected, Creme Fresh is the trailer, 10th along the inside as they move down the backstretch. It's Spellbound in front by a length and a quarter. First Patriot on the outside is in second by 2 lengths. Around the far turn now. After 3/4 of a mile in a leisurely 1 minute 12 and 2/5 seconds, it's Spellbound, but on the outside here comes First Patriot with Early Fires up to challenge. Coming to the top of the stretch, Spellbound on the rail leads by a head. On the outside, First Patriot is second. Here comes Yankee Affair gaining in third. Blazing Bart with a quick burst of speed on the outside, and Creme Fresh toward the rail. And down the stretch they come. First Patriot takes command under a drive by 1. Now Yankee Affair. Blazing Bart on the inside. Yucca looks for racing room. What a finish here. They come to the wire, and it's going to be Yankee Affair with Pat Day holding on to win it by 2. Yucca with a late burst of speed up for the play spot, and a photograph with Creme Fresh. First Patriot on the inside. Blazing Bart, all those in a photo for the show. And the final time, 1 minute, 50 seconds. That's 1 1/5 seconds off the track record. But unofficially, it was a very interesting affair. Pat Day, Yankee Affair, trained by the veteran Henry Carroll, carrying 118 pounds, comes from far back.
Thank you, Dave, as you're looking at the unofficial winner of the Early Times Turf Classic, Yankee Affair. When we come back, we'll take another look at this race, the second of this Early Times Turf Classic Series. Some of the crowd at Churchill Downs on a beautiful day for racing in Louisville.
There are up to 1,000 reasons to see Crown Nissan now. First time ever, $1,000 factory rebate on Maxima, $500 rebate on Sentras and standard Nissan trucks. Up to $1,000 factory rebate at Crown Nissan Hoover.
Take a look. Nobody beats Crown's prices. $99.65 buys a Grand Am with Air, just $198 a month. Just $79.95 buys an '88 Sunbird, just $159 a month. You'll save at Crown Pontiac Hoover.
I'm Rob Stone for Herzing Institute. The true test of career education takes place not in school, but in the job market.
The placement program helped me find the job that I wanted.
I would recommend the school totally for the education I received there and really underline the placement program.
At Herzing, we are proud of our graduates and their career success. To find out what Herzing Institute can do for you, call right now.
Call Herzing today, 1-800-346-8800.
Nation's Business Update with Melissa Gardner. Brought to you by Best Western.
The Labor Department reports the unemployment rate fell to 5.4% in April, the lowest figure since June 1974. Eastern Airlines filed a $1.5 billion lawsuit today against 2 of its unions, charging that they're trying to destroy the company. And Texas Air reports a loss of more than $124 million the first quarter of this year. More Monday morning on Nation's Business Today.
Stay with us, Best Western. All memories you'll always share. Stay with the folks who know and care. Best Western.
Nobody knows America like Best Western, so stay with the folks who know it best. Why not call us now for the right place to stay at the right price? Best Western.
We welcome you back to Churchill Downs. The Early Times Turf Classic has just been run here, and the unofficial winner, you're looking at right there, Yankee Affair, owned by the Juju Gen Stable, trained by Henry Carroll, and ridden by the master of Churchill Downs, Pat Day. We saw Yankee Affair win the Elkhorn at Keeneland earlier. Very similar to that performance today as we go to Dave Johnson now to take another look at the Early Times Turf Classic.
Turning for home, a pair on the front end. I thought they might go all the way. Along the inside with the orange cap, Spellbound with Kevin Murray. On the outside in the white cap, that's Early Fires riding First Patriot. But the eventual winner is going to be Pat Day on Yankee Affair, who does some fancy footwork at the top of the stretch to get himself into beautiful position, as he always does. As the front runners started to tire, and Kevin Murray went to a strong right-handed whip, and so did Early Fires. Here they come through the lane, and here comes the eventual winner, Yankee Affair. Pat Day, with a left-handed whip, is going to wear down First Patriot in the final strides. Here comes Yucca, the gray horse, along the inside, gaining boldly. But Yankee Affair, who took the Louisiana Gold Cup at Fairgrounds and then the Elkhorn last time, both winning efforts, makes it 3 in a row, Chris.
All right, thank you, Dave. And just checking the unofficial results as you look at the celebration out there for Yankee Affair. They had the #1 horse, Yucca, finishing second. Finishing third was First Patriot, and finishing fourth, Blazing Bart. Let's go down now, trackside and Chelsea Canny.
All right, with me now is Angel Cordero, who is aboard the second favorite, Creme Fraiche. Angel, you were closer up than usual, ready to strike, but you had a lot of trouble, it looked like.
Well, we got a lot of trouble the first 16 of a mile, and then going into the second turn. And then he finally started kicking the last part, but there was no room to go. If they have any room, he would have been right there.
Exactly. He was blocked, and there was not much early pace. They had a leisurely way on the lead.
They was kind of going slow, and he got a little rank, and I got in a little problem. But the last part, he was going the best.
Tough luck, but thanks for being with us, Angel. Back to you, Chris.
All right, thank you, Chelsea. Creme Fraiche, over $3.7 million in earnings. Didn't do well today. Well, let's give you a message from the Thoroughbred Racing Association. The Vice President, General Manager, Churchill Downs, Gerald Lawrence.
Thoroughbred racing, like all professional sports, is also a business. Like all businesses, we are dependent upon customer satisfaction. Our customers in thoroughbred racing are not only our fans who come every day and support us, but also our horsemen who race with us. We at Churchill Downs 4 years ago made a commitment to customer satisfaction. To the support of our board of directors and $22 million worth of capital improvements, and our fans with keeping our customers foremost in their minds, the cooperation of the Commonwealth of Kentucky for a tax increase for purses, we have been able to break all attendance and handle records in the last 4 years. Likewise, as charter members of the TRA, we at Churchill Downs have become more active and more involved with the Thoroughbred Racing Association, not only in its meetings this year where people exchanged ideas, but also with the TRPB to guarantee integrity in our sport. We welcome you to the 114th running of the Kentucky Oaks through ESPN, Thoroughbred Sports and Racing across America, and we look forward to welcoming you back again.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. It's our pleasure to be here. Churchill Downs, what better place to be on Derby Week? We'll be back with more right after this break.
How long does a John Deere last?
How long does a John Deere last? How long does a John Deere last? How long does a John Deere last? How long does a John Deere last? Well, come on.
Racing around the turn, they're going to have to catch Cordero, looking for his 4th win in the Delaware Cup. Coupe de Fusil in front by 3 lengths as they turn for home. Steelakis driving on the inside in second. The mile went in 1:35. Cordero sitting chilly. He's got Coupe de Fusil in front by 3. On the inside, Steelakis. Catatonic is going to be too late today. It's Coupe de Fusil. Cordero wins his 4th Delaware Handicap.
Racing's grand tradition, the Delaware Handicap, July 23rd.
The Holiday Inn Airport East, just minutes from Louisville's major sporting facilities, is home to athletic teams and fans alike. We welcome you with that famous Kentucky hospitality and class to our luxurious guest rooms and suites. The Holiday Inn Airport East, close to Churchill Downs, Cardinal Stadium, Louisville Downs, and Motor Speedway. We have it all. Health club, tennis, basketball, swimming, and fishing, all on site. We're the Holiday Inn Airport East, Louisville's winner in the hospitality race.
At this very moment, throughout the world, horses from the Keeneland Sales in Lexington, Kentucky, horses such as John Henry, Spectacular Bid, Alleged, The Minstrel, Sharif Dancer, Ali Sheba, and Bet Twice are winning the classic races, making racing history. And it all begins here at the Keeneland Sales in Lexington, Kentucky, source of the classic winner.
Saturday, June 18th, Champion Thoroughbreds meet in Cleveland to race in Thistledown's Ohio Derby. Enjoy the tradition, thrills, and glory of Ohio.
There are up to 1,000 reasons to see Crown Nissan now. First time ever, $1,000 factory rebate on Maxima, $500 rebate on Sentras and standard Nissan trucks. Up to $1,000 factory rebate at Crown Nissan Hoover.
Take a look. Nobody beats Crown's prices. $99.65 buys a Grand Am with Air, just $198 a month. Just $79.95 buys an '88 Sunbird, just $159 a month. You'll save at Crown Pontiac Hoover.
I'm Rob Stone for Herzing Institute. The true test of career education takes place not in school, but in the job market.
The placement program helped me find the job that I wanted.
I would recommend the school totally for the education I received there and really underline the placement program.
At Herzing, we are proud of our graduates and their career success. To find out what Herzing Institute can do for you, call right now.
Call Herzing today, 1-800-346-8800.
Downs over the weekend. Now, the mint julep is by no means a new fad here in Kentucky, and its popularity has been documented for many years.
It's Derby Day, a day with
kick to it as the Julep Belt Classic moves to a climax.
For more than a century, Derby fans have nursed the nectar of the Old South. That hasn't been easy, especially during Prohibition.
Mint juleps are not what they used to be in Kentucky, but thank God we have beautiful women and Kentucky thoroughbreds still left.
Mint juleps and the Kentucky Derby are a combination as traditional as thoroughbreds and the bluegrass. According to Jonathan Noske of the Kentucky Derby Museum, the origins of the mint julep are a bit cloudy.
Several states have laid claim to inventing the mint julep, but Kentuckians have really latched onto it. What we think happened is that it was just such a good, cold summertime drink. These people already had these silver cups that they were awarded for their horses, and they just simply decided to put their drinks in these to keep them cool.
Tall silver julep cups became as prized as racing trophies themselves, ranging in value from $5 to $500. The cups are made in all shapes and sizes, but the 1949 julep cup was the largest.
Thomas Graham, who was a director under Mr. Graham Brown of Churchill Downs, asked us to design a cup. He suggested that all the julep cups that he had seen before were too small, and that what he really wanted was a cup with 12-ounce capacity.
In 1986, the Early Times mint julep became the official julep of the Kentucky Derby. Over 100,000 mint juleps will be consumed on Derby Day alone.
The Derby without a julep is like Kentucky without a kernels, huh?
The mint julep. There is the bald eagle, Charlie Whittingham. He's going to be busy in a moment. He's saddling two in the Kentucky Oaks. That's coming up, our feature race here. So welcome you back to Churchill Downs. Well, everybody, of course, is talking about the Derby and the odds and the draw. And, well, Ralph Scirocco's been busy out at Caesars in Las Vegas, bringing us our final update from there. Ralph?
Derby fever reigns the main event this week here in the town of superstars and super events, and over 400 three-year-olds were eligible. Over 4 months of future book wagering now complete. And out of the 36 major Kentucky Derby stepping stones run nationwide, 27 different winners. Here are the 17 horses in post position order. Risen Star, the Louisiana Derby winner, closes at 5 to 1. King Post, the winner of the Jim Beam, is at 30 to 1. Brian's Time Florida Derby victor is at 6. Granacus, upset winner in the Bluegrass, goes from 60, he's now 30. Then you have Sea-Trek, part of the field. Started at 200 to 1, he is now 20. Winning Colors is the Kentucky Derby future book favorite here in Las Vegas at Caesars Palace. She opened at 30 to 1. She is now 2 to 1. And earlier in the season, you could have gotten 200 to 1 on this fantastic filly. Proper Reality off a fresh victory goes from 40 to 8 to 1. Lively One is part of the B entry. Bill Shoemaker and Charlie Whittingham team up with this Californian. He's at 8 to 1. Private Terms, undefeated, is from 25 to 1 down to the second favorite at 3 to 1 with Chris Antley, and Private Terms could have been bought earlier in the season at 75 to 1. Rounding out the field from post position number 17 was the early Kentucky Derby future book favorite, 49er, who started at 7, and now he closes at 4 to 1. Well, gentlemen, the stage is now set. The three-year-olds are ready to go, and I'm here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll be sitting back watching the Run for the Roses along with the nation tomorrow. Here's to all the three-year-olds who are in the race, a safe journey and good luck.
Thank you, Ralph. We'll be joining Ralph Scirocco live at the party at Caesars Palace tomorrow. Join us on our Kentucky Derby special. Back with more.
Robert Chrysler Plymouth announces their inventory reduction sale with a lot full of beautiful Chryslers and Plymouths to choose from. Save hundreds of dollars on Chrysler New Yorkers, Fifth Avenues, LeBarons, Plymouth Reliant K, Sundance, and Voyager. So don't make a costly mistake. Come to Robert Chrysler Plymouth during our inventory reduction sale and save as never before. Robert Chrysler Plymouth with 2 locations to serve you, Parkway East at Eastwood Mall.
Every Marvin window is crafted by hand to ensure it fits exactly the way you want it to. Because at Marvin, we believe a beautiful wood window can add more than light to a room. It can add life.
See Marvin Windows at Scherer, Sash and Door.
Zeller, and this is Kmart.
You know, this is a place to get great golf equipment, like these Fuzzy Zeller clubs. They're by Power Built. Laminated maple heads. Larger sweet spots. And a great price. So where do you go for great golf? Kmart. It's a nice course. It's a bit crowded, but nice.
Fuzzy Zeller gloves, part of the signature line at Kmart.
Looking for a good bet for the 1988 Kentucky Derby? A sure winner is the Kentucky Derby Souvenir Magazine. This 180-page souvenir magazine is the best publication ever on America's premier horse race. Writers include Eclipse Award winners Joe Hirsch, Billy Reed, and Jim Bolus. The legendary names of Carryback, Affirmed, Alydar, and Claiborne Farm are brought to life with dazzling pictures. This beautiful publication can be yours now by simply calling 1-800-232-3100. Only $5.95 plus $2.75 shipping and handling.
Well, they're in the paddock for our feature race, the Kentucky Oaks, the fillies version of the Derby, as we've told you a number of times on this telecast. Certainly everybody's talking, though, about the Derby coming up tomorrow, and we welcome you back. Dave Johnson is going to call the Kentucky Derby, the voice for ABC. Maybe early impressions of this Kentucky Derby field.
The Kentucky Derby this year has everything except a standout favorite, and that means it's the most competitive in years. We have the undefeated colt. We've got the winning filly from the West Coast, and any 10 horses could win, and it wouldn't surprise me.
Here's the rundown. They drew yesterday, Dave, 17 in, and we have 2 betting interests, 2 couplings.
And the interesting one from Woody Stevens' barn, the early speed of 49er and the late speed of Cephas. And 49er, drawing on the way outside 17 post position, ensures a fast pace. I think the Derby is going to be lost or won right at the first turn.
As we continue on, you see Risen Star, number 3 on the program. It drew on the inside. A lot of concern about that.
The son of Secretariat has a lot of supporters here in Louisville.
And as we continue on through the field, seeking the goal, getting a lot of support now. There is the filly, winning colors, a lot of interest in her.
I think she'll be favored, and I love Seeking the Gold. I think he's going to be one of the top 3-year-olds this year. Let's see if he can explode tomorrow.
Jim Zorbert won that great finish, the Derby Trials, in the 10 spot of the program. Private terms, then we go to the field horses now. Some interesting ones there.
Sure is. If you're a bargain hunter, you must love that. And there's the guy that won the race last year.
There he is, Jack Van Berg. He'll saddle Din's Dancer. He's getting right now ready for the Kentucky Oaks saddling process. We finish up with the Derby. Again, the field horses, Sea-Trek and Perduking. Interesting Regal Classic for field horse.
It just goes to show you how deep this field is, 17 of them, and it's just a great race for tomorrow afternoon.
We're getting ready now for our Kentucky Oaks. Let's give you the conditions of racing for that. It is like the Derby in its 114th running, a Grade 1 event, $200,000 added. We have a field of 10 entered, including 2 entries. The purse total is better than $241,000. First place better than $156,000. Let's meet now the top fillies that run in the Oaks as we go down again trackside, and Chelsea Candy.
Thank you, Chris. Well, coming as it does on the eve of the Kentucky Derby has caused the Kentucky Oaks to be somewhat overlooked, which just isn't fair because in its 114-year history, the Oaks has produced such champion fillies as Susan's Girl, Dark Mirage, and Devona Dale. And today's field is pretty talented. Let's take a look at them. First in line is the Charlie Whittingham entry of Jeannie Jones and Goodbye Halo. Jeannie Jones has Bill Shoemaker aboard. Goodbye Halo has Pat Day. They're at 6-5. Number 2 is Lost Kitty. Jose Santos, she's at 8-1, and they'll be trying to duplicate the form that enabled them to beat 2-year-old champion Epitome in the Honeybee last month. Number 3 is, and 2B rather, is Fulbright Scholar, the other half of the entry, New York Stakes winner, disappointing form lately. Number 3 is Lucky Lydia, Michael Bryan, a long shot. Number 4 is Willa on the Move. She'll be tested for class. Chris McCarron rides. She's at 3-1. They like her chances. Number 5 is Most Likely. The public feels she's unlikely. She's at 30-1. Number 6 is Joe's Tammy, a New York Red Stakes winner, trained by Jack Van Berg. She's at 10-1. Gary Stevens is in from California for the mount. Number 7 is On to Royalty, who's been running awfully well. Public likes her at 5-1. Craig Perrette has the mount. Number 8 is Colonial Waters, making only her 4th career start. Angel Cordero rides. She's a good price at 6-1. That's the field, and let's go to Chris.
All right, thank you, Chelsea. It is a very competitive field for the Kentucky Oaks. They're saddling in the paddock now. When we come back, we'll be getting ready for our post-parade for the Oaks.
In 1987, Lane's End and Partners bred thoroughbreds that earned in excess of $5,275,000. At the top of the list were champion 3-year-old filly Sacoista and Bet Twice, winner of the Belmont Stakes, the 3rd leg of the American Triple Crown. In all, Lane's End was represented by 21 stakes performers in 1987. These just a part of more than 65 stakes winners bred by Lane's End since 1980. Lane's End for sales, Kentucky.
This bud's for all that you do.
I'd like to help you. I just don't have the time.
Bob, I need a trainer.
How about Eddie?
He's just a kid.
So was I.
Hey, Eddie!
You've worked long and hard to get there. When the time comes, you hope you're ready.
Son, I'm counting on you.
Here's to you. Beechwood age for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
Who's talking to you?
This bud's for you.
For the thoroughbred, each day begins early. His purpose is winning. His preparation, critical. But the key to winning is teamwork. The thoroughbred and the jockey. The best team in sports. See the best team in sports at a track near you.
Hull & Smith Horse Fans, a service for horsemen by horsemen. For over 2 decades, the people of Hull & Smith have set the standards in the business of transporting horses. Gene and Judy Hull head up a staff of full-time experienced professionals. We provide expert personal handling, superb accommodations, and the finest in safe, modern equipment. We ship your horses anytime, anywhere, safely and dependably. At Hull & Smith, it's our tradition and our commitment.
We're back at Churchill Downs as the riders are up in the Kentucky Oaks. They're getting ready to head to the racetrack. 114th running of this, a great history to the Kentucky Oaks, and a history that's also had a bit of an influence from California. That's the subject of this special update report now with the Kentucky Oaks. Carter Stud Farms presents this California Racing Update. The Kentucky Oaks, one of the premier 3-year-old filly classics, has had a real California influence, with West Coast fillies winning 5 of the last 6. Hall of Fame trainer Laz Barrera won his 2nd straight Oaks last year when Bury Your Belief won this race. In 1986, it was Barrera's Tiffany Lass. Franz Valentine won in 1985 for California owner Earl Scheib and trainer Joe Manzi. And the D. Wayne Lucas stable won the Oaks with Lucky, Lucky, Lucky in 1984. And in 1982, it was Blush with Pride. This California Racing Update from the Cardiff Stud Farms of California. Welcome back. You see the fillies are on the racetrack now. Let's talk some about these fillies. First of all, the entry, the 1-1A entry of Charlie Whittingham is the favorite now at 4-5. We're talking about Jeannie Jones, one of the top fillies as a 3-year-old. This one's the winner of a Grade 1 Fantasy Stakes at Oaklawn Park. Bill Shoemaker is up there. Goodbye Halo is the other part of the entry at 1A. Defeated the Derby filly. Winning Colors is her claim to fame. Pat Day is riding, going for his 3rd win of the day. Lost Kitty, the 2-horse. There's the white bridle of D. Wayne Lucas, part of his entry. Lost Kitty beat last year's 2-year-old champion Epitome. The famous colors of Gene Klein, of course, the San Diego Charger colors. Great fillies like Lady Secret, Life's Magic. Jose Santos on Lost Kitty. Right behind, Lafitte Pinkai is on the other part of the Lucas entry. Fulbright Scholar. Second half of this Lucas entry, inner track course basically in New York. Won her first 3 races, but beaten a total of 45 lengths, though, in the last 3 starts. Don't know about her. Coming up next is Lucky Lydia, the 3-horse, ridden by Michael Bryan, a regular rider, winner at River Downs and at Keeneland, but lost by 20 lengths in her only stakes effort. The number 4 horse, and here's the big one, Willow on the Move. Will on the Move looking for a 6th straight stakes win. You see them making the turn and getting ready to come back. Chris McCarron is up. He won the 77 Oaks, and you know, of course, what he did last year here at the Kentucky Derby. Looking down the field, most likely, not very likely today, the 5-horse with Jacinto Vasquez up. There's Joe's Tammy, the 6-horse. Gary Stevens is riding that. Gary won the Oaks in '86 here with Tiffany Lass. That Joe's Tammy is an outstanding New York bred. The 7 horse is On to Royalty, the beaten favorite in the Ashland Stakes by Willa on the Move. Craig Perrette has the ride. You know about Craig, of course, the winner of the Belmont Stakes with Bet Twice. And we're going to round out our field with the Johnny Campo train, Buckland Farm owned Colonial Waters. You have to take a look at this when you have Angel Cordero on any horse. Angel won the 84 Oaks with Lucky, Lucky, Lucky. Now, Colonial Waters making only her 4th career start. Broke her maiden, though, by winning the Florida Oaks at Tampa Bay Downs. There's a rundown of your field as they get ready to parade to the post. Let's give you the odds here. Here's the way the people at Churchill Downs see it. They like the entry of Jeannie Jones and Goodbye Halo at 4-5. Lost Kitty at 14, along with, of course, her stablemate Fulbright Scholar, the Lucas entry. Lucky Lydia at 45-1, a real long shot, as we expected. Willow on the Move. Oh, she's a tough filly. 9-5 right now. Most likely, not likely, at 60. Joe's Tammy at 40. On to Royalty at 10. And Colonial Waters at 7-1. That's a look at the Kentucky Oaks field, the odds here. You know, when you talk about fillies, one that always comes to mind is one who really made her name in Breeders' Cup competition. And very appropriately, the subject of our Breeders' Cup championship moment.
The San Gabriel Mountains and Santa Anita Park provided a majestic setting for racing's regal lady. From start to finish, Lady Secret staged a Horse of the Year performance in the $1 million Breeders' Cup Distaff.
But it is Lady Secret who puts it in another gear as they turn for home. Lady Secret, another flawless performance.
For Lady Secret, this crowd-pleasing victory was her Breeders' Cup championship moment.
Back at Churchill Downs, Jeannie Jones, Goodbye Halo, the entry of Charlie Whittingham, 4-5 favorites. We need to find you a Bud Longshot. We're going to have a mint julep first, though.
The Spring Buyers Report from Sarah Chevrolet. Recommendation: buy now during our spring saving spree. Consider a new Cavalier Coupe with air conditioning and more for only $77.88, or a new Nova 4-door. GM price as much as $11,060. At Sarah, you pay only $95.88. Springtime means the old becomes new, so bring your trade to Sarah and let's get down to the business of saving you money.
Recommendation: buy now.
Our business is saving you money.
Sarah Chevrolet, Center Point Parkway.
If you think you don't need Michelin high-performance radials, maybe you should stop and think again. Why spin your wheels buying tires? Buy Michelin high-performance radials. Buy them at NTW. We're in the Yellow Pages.
1988 Kentucky Derby, a sure winner is the Kentucky Derby Souvenir Magazine. This 180-page souvenir magazine is the best publication ever on America's premier horse race. Writers include Eclipse Award winners Joe Hirsch, Billy Reed, and Jim Bolus. The legendary names of Carryback, Affirmed, Alydar, and Claiborne Farm are brought to life with dazzling pictures. This beautiful publication can be yours now by simply calling 1-800-232-3100. Only $5.95 plus $2.75 shipping and handling.
This is the Nation's Business Update with Melissa Gardner.
The Labor Department reports the unemployment rate fell to 5.4% in April, the lowest figure since June 1974. Meanwhile, Canada's unemployment rate fell to 7.7% last month, the lowest in nearly 7 years. And Eastern Airlines has filed a $1.5 billion lawsuit against 2 of its unions, charging that they're trying to destroy the company. More Monday morning on Nation's Business Today here on ESPN.
Well, is there a more famous shot in racing? I don't think so. The steeples of Churchill Downs. We're about 6 minutes away now from the running of the 114th Kentucky Oaks. Let's give you a closer look now at some of our top contenders. Here's Dave Johnson now.
It was 2 years ago tomorrow that Charlie Whittingham won his first Kentucky Derby. Today, the Bald Eagle sends out a pair of talented fillies in quest of his first win in the Kentucky Oaks. Jeannie Jones may be best known for her second-place finish in last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. But the strength of her front-running style was most evident 2 weeks ago as she scored a wire-to-wire triumph in Oaklawn Park's Grade 1 Fantasy Stakes, proving she not only has the necessary speed, but the ability to carry it a distance of ground. Stablemate Goodbye Halo will also attend the pace closely and usually improves her position in the drive. She has the distinction as being the only horse ever to hang a loss on tomorrow's Kentucky Derby contender Winning Colors. But that was February, and racing experts always look to current form. While the Whittingham pair was campaigning on the West Coast, On to Royalty was winning 3 consecutive stakes in Florida. Her best performance came in Gulfstream's Bonnie Miss Stakes, as she left a quality field in her wake with Craig Perrette in the irons. On to Royalty went on to win another stakes race at Keeneland before having her streak snapped in the Ashland by this filly, the fast-rising Willa on the Move. While the other main contenders are generally close to the pace, this daughter of Assert makes her move in the stretch. The Ashland was her 5th straight victory, all in stakes company. Willa on the Move now appears ready to burst onto the national scene, much as another Maryland race performer, Private Terms, has done in the past few weeks.
Well, Dave gave you a good look at those contenders there, and right now, Jeannie Jones and Goodbye Halo, that's the Charlie Whittingham train entry, still holding on at 4 to 5. And looking down the board here very quickly, it looks like they also like Willa on the Move at 9 to 5. Looking at this field, 10 fillies that total almost $4 million in earnings. We've got some high-price ones here, but we're always looking for a long shot, of course. Here is our Budweiser long shot for the Kentucky Oaks.
Today's Budweiser long shot is Colonial Waters, one of the least experienced members of the field. But while the filly is a newcomer, her connections are old hands at big-time victories. Owner Thomas Mellon Evans and trainer John Campo won 2/3 of the Triple Crown in '81 with Pleasant Colony, the sire of Colonial Waters. Our long shot was a maiden, making only her 2nd start when she contested the Florida Oaks on March 12th. She saved her best move for last, as she came from far back early to win it going away. Trainer Johnny Campo has always been quick with his opinions, and that includes his filly's chances today.
I don't worry about nobody. They got to worry about me. I need Charlie in the race. He got 1 speed horse. There's 2 or 3. I need some speed in the race, you know. But she got no excuse. She's training real good. This is a real good filly.
Now, with that kind of confidence behind her, how can she miss as our Budweiser long shot for the Oaks?
And there's the filly Colonial Waters, Angel Cordero up, and she opened at 6. She's now 7 to 1. And there's a bettor who wants to get to the window to bet the Bud long shot.
In every field, one name stands above all others. In thoroughbred racing, that name is Calumet. For over half a century, Calumet has been the leader in producing and racing champion thoroughbreds. Calumet champions have won every important race. 8 times, Calumet bred and trained horses have won the Run for the Roses. From champions of yesterday to the promise of tomorrow, there's one sure thing in the racing world. Calumet will lead the way. Calumet Farm, continuing a tradition of excellence.
You're looking at the new $90 million Remington Park racetrack in Oklahoma City, ready to race September 1st. America's top horsemen are planning to race at what just may be the best track in the country. Here's why. A $1 million supplement to fall 88 purses at Remington Park. One of the finest stable areas in racing, and a stakes barn that's second to none. Main track and turf course designed by Joe King of the New York Racing Association. Count on a full-time director of Horsemen's Services and the commitment to make this the Horseman's Racetrack, the proven success of a DeBartolo horse racing operation and a location in the heart of horse country. You won't want to miss the inaugural season at Remington Park starting September 1st. Call now for your condition book and stall application at 1-800-456-8383. That's 1-800-456-8383. Take it from me, Chris Lincoln. They're building a better racetrack for you, America's best horsemen, at Remington Park in Oklahoma City.
In the glory days of Rome, Caesar entertained his guests with the most spectacular sporting events in all the empire. 2,000 years later, he still does. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
Desert Wine, a solid Grade 1 stakes performer. At 2, the Hollywood Juvenile. At 3, runner-up in the Kentucky Derby and Preakness. At 4, the Hollywood Gold Cup win over John Henry. Desert Wine, a leading son of Damascus at Cardiff Stud Farms, California.
Well, they've approached the starting gate for the Kentucky Oaks. Jeannie Jones, Goodbye Halo, the Whittingham entry 4-5. Willa on the move, the 4 horses 8-5. Let's go to Dave Johnson now as he loads them up to call the Kentucky Oaks.
Since post positions were drawn by lot, that's why the number 1 horse, Jeannie Jones, is moving in there. And, you know, we're going to watch the leaders in the upper left-hand corner of your screen as they straighten away down the backstretch, so you'll be able to see who's in front, and at the same time, you'll be able to watch the race unfold across the screen. Somebody wants somebody back on the tail of the 1 horse. Craig Brett moves on to Royalty Inn. And the horse has been training so well in Florida, Colonial Waters, trying to follow in the footsteps of Granacus, and intensive command came up from Calder, who trained very well down at that Florida track and did well here in Kentucky. Angel Cordero Jr. riding for John Campbell. Of course, Campbell had Cherokee Colony in the race. This would be a little salve for the wound because Cherokee Colony was injured and not able to make the run for the Roses. At Buckland Farm, who owns Colonial Waters, and this is the horse who was sired by Pleasant Colony, winner of the '81 Kentucky Derby. The assistant starters, as you see, helping Colonial Waters into the gate. This horse has only raced 3 times, so she's still a little bit green. And then on the outside, Goodbye Halo with Pat Day will finish off the field. We're set for the start. And a clean start right between horses. Lost Kitty, followed on the inside by Jeannie Jones. Now Jeannie Jones puts a head in front. Lost Kitty is right there in second, and Fulbright Scholar is third. Those 3 across the track. And then along the inside rail, Willow on the move, saves ground in 4th. Joe's Tammy, trained by Jack Van Berg, is 5th between horses, and Craig Barrett has On to Royalty up on the outside, racing in 6th position. Goodbye Halo stalks the leaders in 7th, and then it's a gap of 4 lengths back to the lightly raced Colonial Waters. Then 2.5 back to the trailers, most likely, and Lucky Lydia is the trailer. They straighten down the backstretch the first quarter in 22 4/5 seconds, and it's Jeannie Jones with Bill Shoemaker drawing off to an easy 4-length advantage. Lost Kitty is in second, and moving through along the inside rail. There goes Willow on the move. After that, Pat Day has Goodbye Halo in striking distance. On the far outside, Fulbright Scholar is next. From the back of the pack, Colonial Waters begins to move up. The half in 46 1, the pace beginning to quicken. And Jeannie Jones, though, on the inside still has the lead by a head as Chris McCarron moves Willow on the move on the outside to challenge. And Colonial Waters, the Bud Longshot, is making up ground stride by stride. And Goodbye Halo saves ground and now angles up between horses. There at the top of the stretch, Jeannie Jones leads ahead. Willow on the move in second. On the outside, here comes Goodbye Halo. 3 of them across the track, and down the stretch they come inside the 8th pole. It's Goodbye Halo saying goodbye to this field. Pat Day aboard with a left-handed whip, draws off to lead it by 2. It's Goodbye Halo by 3 lengths. Stablemate, Jeannie Jones finished second. A Charlie Whittingham double there as they finish 1-2 with the Willow on the move. The horse ridden by Chris McCarron finishing 3rd, and Colonial Waters was 4th. Running time for this year's Oaks, 1 minute 50 2/5 seconds. What an afternoon for Charlie Whittingham, who has never won this great race.
Thank you, Dave. And Charlie Whittingham, who of course came here in 1986 with Ferdinand to win the Derby, has now added the filly portion. The Kentucky Oaks, the first time he has been able to win this race. And Pat Day has won his 3rd of the afternoon here at Churchill Downs. Goodbye Halo, our unofficial winner of the 114th Kentucky Oaks. When we come back, we'll take another look at the Oaks victory for Charlie Whittingham, Pat Day, and Goodbye Halo.
does it again. Another volume deal with Ford Motor Company, and the savings go right back in your pocket. From Bill Russell Ford, the exciting 88 Aerostar XL, discounted down to $12,990. And Ford's world-class Taurus L, Bill Russell discounted to $11,990. No, not strip, equip. Bill Russell's price includes all these extras, even with discounts totaling $1,600. We've got 45 Aerostars at $12,990 and 85 Taurus at $11,990, only at Mr. Big Volume, Bill Russell Ford.
The Rainer Indy race car goes over 200 miles per hour. A Rainer Decade garage door, a bit slower. A Rainer race car develops over 750 horsepower. A Rainer door opener, under 1. The Rainer race car is built to perform a few hours. Rainer Decade doors and openers are built to last much longer. Rainer Decade garage doors, warranted to last as long as you own your home.
For sales and service, call SK Door and Specialty Company, 951-2934.
I can't wait to see the look on his face. He's going to be so excited.
It's a feeling. You keep calling me home, Chicago.
Hey, take a look at this.
Calling me home. Chicago is calling me home. We just missed you, Dad.
If you think physical fitness can help you get ahead in business, subscribe to the Wall Street Journal and see what mental fitness can do.
Call 800-372-3000 for this great journal subscription offer. 13 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.75. Phone 800-372-3000 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Welcome back to Churchill Downs. They have just finished running the Kentucky Oaks, and there, with the 1A saddlecloth, the Chestnut filly, our unofficial winner, Goodbye Halo, owned by Arthur B. Hancock III, Alex Campbell, trained by Charlie Whittingham, his first Oaks victory, and Pat Day. Interestingly, it's the first Kentucky Oaks win, David, as well, for Pat Day, his third winner of the day. Dave?
Well, coming to the top of the stretch, it looked like a rerun of the early times because Pat Day was in third, but look at the leaders. Here we go with Jeannie Jones on the inside in front, then Willow on the move, the jockey wearing the blue colors on the outside second, and Pat Day, who always seems to be in the garden spot, is third. And as we watch the stretch drive, it's going to be Pat Day just moving out from the rail for the drive. And at this point, Chris McCarron asks Willow on the move for all she can give. It's not enough. Here comes the horse, trained by Charlie Whittingham and wearing the gray and yellow of Arthur B. Hancock and Alex Campbell, and with a strong left-handed whip. You can see she's turning her head, checking the house, I guess, on this big Oaks day. She just moves away, and it is strictly Goodbye Halo, carrying 121 pounds and giving Pat Day his third winner of the afternoon. The Kentucky-bred Goodbye Halo takes the Oaks.
There you look at Pat Day heading to the winner's circles. He has so many times here at Churchill Downs. By the way, unofficially, the other half of that Charlie Whittingham entry didn't disappoint. Jeannie Jones, the one horse, finishing second unofficially. And then it was the four-horse Willow on the move third. And it was Colonial Waters, the Bud Long, shot fourth. Down to Chelsea Candy with an interview.
Well, Chris, I'm here with the losing half of the winning team. This is Bill Shoemaker, who was on Jeannie Jones, and she likes to run on the lead, Bill, but you never got much peace up there.
Well, around the first turn, I had to use her a little bit, but then she relaxed in the middle of the race and finished very well. The other filly just out-finished her, that was all.
Willow on the move hooked her going into the turn there?
She did, but I still had a lot of horse on her, and she finished well, so she just couldn't beat the other filly today, that's all.
Well, tomorrow's another day, and you've got Lively One. What do you think about him?
I think he's got a great chance. We're going to reverse this thing tomorrow.
You guys are on a roll. Go get it.
All right, thank you.
Great, thanks, Bill. Back to you, Chris.
All right, Chelsea, and I tell you, Goodbye Halo is on a roll right now, too. That is the fourth Grade 1 stakes victory for Goodbye Halo. She won the Demoiselle at Aqueduct back in November of last year. She won the Hollywood Starlet at Hollywood Park, a Grade 1 event. She won the Santa Ynez, a Grade 3 at Santa Anita. She won the Las Virgenes, a Grade 1 at Santa Anita. And in the Santa Anita Oaks finished third, beaten by, among others, Winning Colors. But today was Goodbye Halo's day. The victory worth $156,715. And Goodbye Halo now goes almost to $700,000 in earnings. And remember, this is the filly who gave Winning Colors That's the Derby filly, her only loss of her career. So she is certainly very talented. Goodbye Halo, a Keeneland sales horse. $47,000 in July of 1986. How's that for a bargain, folks? Arthur B. Hancock and Alex Campbell bought her for $47,000 at Keeneland, and she now has won almost $700,000. So Pat Day in the winner's circle here. And we have another race to bring you earlier in the day, our third stakes race on the Churchill Downs race card, the Louisville Budweiser Breeders' Cup. Here are the conditions of that race now, run earlier this afternoon. The first $154,150 with a field of 5 fillies and mares, 3 and up, going a mile and a 16th. All 5 Breeders' Cup eligible for the first place money, including bonuses of over $100,000. Let's look at the field now, and these are the closing odds. Fiesta Gal and Best of Both Worlds, the entry 5-1. Gary Stevens and Pat Day riding there. Continuing on the field, Bound, the Claiborne Colt, filly at 4-1. Grecian Flight at 5-1. By Land by Sea, the heavy 2-5 favorite. Let's pick up now the call just past the half-mile mark with Dave Johnson.
The half in a leisurely 48 seconds, and By Land by Sea has had it all her own way. She's led every step of the way, and Bound is in striking position on the outside, and now Eddie Maple asks her to pick up a bit, and Bound on the outside is right there in second. It's By Land by Sea who lets out another notch. Fernando Toro aboard. Bound is racing in the second spot as they turn for home. There's a quarter of a mile to go. It's the favorite, By Land by Sea. Now drawing off to lead it by 2. Bound tries to close the gap, but to no avail. And down the stretch they come into the final furlong. By Land by Sea drawing off now to a 4-length advantage. Bound with Eddie Maple asking for more, but not catching the leader. Here's the finish of the Louisville Budweiser's Breeders' Cup. It's By Land by Sea by 4. It was Bound finishing second, then about 6 lengths farther back, a photo for the show. Final time for the mile and a 16th, 1 minute 43 and 1/5 seconds.
And we'll take a look at the prices for the Louisville Budweiser Breeders' Cup. By Land by Sea, winning it $282.40, no show betting. Bound at $3. Best of Both Worlds finishing third. Now let's make our Kentucky Oaks race official. You just saw Goodbye Halo. There are the payoffs, 150 and 2. Jeannie Jones finishing second. Willa on the move, third. Dave Johnson has joined us now, and I had to think back to that Budweiser Breeders' Cup. And Gary Jones wins with By Land by Sea. Maybe makes up a little bit for some disappointment.
It did, because on Wednesday he had to pull Stall Wars out of the race because he came up with a cough, and so Gary picks up a big victory here at Churchill Downs.
Charles, your wrap on this beautiful Oaks Day at Churchill Downs.
Well, Chris, you have to say that the performances by Jeannie Jones and Goodbye Halo certainly boost Winning Colors stock for tomorrow. She beat them about 8 lengths and 9 lengths respectively in the Santa Anita Oaks. That makes her look pretty good. Chris?
All right, thank you, Charles. It's been a busy day here on Oaks Day. We've covered all 3 stakes for you here. Yankee Affair won the Early Times Turf Classic. By Land by Sea, the Louisville Budweiser Breeders' Cup. And you just saw Charlie Whittingham and Pat Day win their first Kentucky Oaks in the 114th running. Still some of the winner's circle activity. Easy to spot. Charlie Whittingham, the Bald Eagle. Goodbye Halo winning it for him, 150 and 2. Join us tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern. Live will be here for 90 minutes to preview the Kentucky Derby, the 114th running. Oaks Day at Churchill Downs has been brought to you by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. By the Thoroughbred Racing Associations, assuring the highest racing standards. Calumet Farm, a new era begins. By Remington Park, opening September 1st in Oklahoma City, building a better racetrack for America's best horsemen. The Breeders' Cup, racing's $10 million championship, and the Breeders' Cup will be here at Churchill Downs this fall. Charts and statistics, courtesy of the Daily Racing Foam, America's Turf Authority. Accommodations for thoroughbred sports in Louisville, provided by the Holiday Inn Airport East, the winner in hospitality. Join us tomorrow, the Kentucky Derby Special at 3 from Churchill Downs. So long, everyone.